Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. Hope you're doing amazing out there. I want to talk to you guys today about context as it relates to selling things. If you're watching this show, then that means you probably are interested in trying to sell things. So, this is a very important subject that I think is overlooked a lot. People don't think about it a ton, but I do think it's really important if you want to see success. Let's take this through like the lens of pitching for a second, because I think when you think about pitching, context is it's one of those things that really comes into play. A lot of people, they think they have the idea to like make a video, or they have the idea to write an article. And in this article or this video or this podcast or whatever, they think, all right, I'm going to give some value in this thing. It's going to be awesome. And then I'm going to pitch something, right? And like the transition from value giving to pitching is so abrupt, it's so weird and so strange that it pulls people right out of whatever you were talking about. And now instantly their defenses are up. They're not interested in anything you got to say about selling. They see that you've clearly moved from the realm of giving them something for free into the realm of selling, right? So when we talk about like, how do you make a smooth transition with pitch? Well, I got one way that I'll tell you now. However, remember, what I'm getting ready to tell you is based severely in context. All right? So one way to do it is to understand that people always are looking for two things. One of two things, People are always looking for what to do next, and people are always looking for where do I get started? And that's in relation to anything in life, not just in relation to, buying or selling things. People are always looking for where to get started and where to go next, okay? So obviously, after you give value, then you can turn that around with, okay, now if you're finally ready to get started and you're ready to get serious, here's where you go, right? Or you can turn it around with, okay, so I've taught you some things here today. What's the next step? This is the next step, right? Those are good pitches, but you have to understand they rely on context. And what I mean by that is it all has to make sense. The reason why they're good pitches is because it's easy to make them make sense in a lot of stories that you might be telling. They kind of fit right in. But a lot of times you still have to not be brain dead. You have to still be able to look at it and say, does that actually make sense? If I'm giving you a story and I'm basically telling you 3 ways to increase your email open rates right there on the email, and then I'm like, all right, now if you're ready to get started, click this link and go here, right? That doesn't make sense. You were telling me 3 ways to increase my open rates, and now you're telling me where to get started. Where to get started doing what? What are you talking about? So your entire piece of content, whether it's video, whether it's audio, whether it's written, it has to make sense within the context of the frame you've built for that piece of content. What are you talking about? I mean, can you imagine, walking into a bar or walking into a coffee shop and meeting a girl and striking up a conversation about, God knows what, some random event or whatever, anything to find some common ground. And then going from that, right into you know, hey, do you want to come over to my house? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there was no context for that jump. So just in the frame of pitching, there has to be context. The pitching that you're doing to sell your thing, it has to fit into the framework of the rest of your content. It's very important. If you don't do this, then what you're going to do is you're going to create this uncanny valley effect for your content. You know what uncanny valley is? You guys can look that up if you don't know what it is. But the point is, it's going to create an unnatural effect. It's going to make people instantly come out of like whatever kind of content that you're writing. Now look, there's always exceptions, right? What's the exception? The exception is you're selling something that they already know they need. They already know they need it. They need it, right? So at that point, you could sell it to anybody who needs it. You know what I mean? But what about people who don't know they need it? What about people who could probably be helped by your thing, but they don't care about your thing, they don't know they need your thing, none of that. Because that's 75% of the people you're going to be selling to. They don't know or care that they need your thing. And if they might need your thing, well, there's 15 other people who are selling the exact same thing. So why should they buy yours? If you're so clumsy with your content, then, and you're pulling them out of whatever you're talking about, that's not going to inspire them to buy from you. So it's about context. It's about thinking about the framework of the piece of content that you built and understanding how the pitch fits into that in a smooth way. Now look, context goes beyond just pitches, but I wanted to give you a small example of how context could absolutely like disrupt your flow of revenue. And that's the way it can do it. If you're getting your pitches wrong, they're not fitting into the rest of your content in a way that, you know, fits into the framework of your content. So anyways, just some thoughts this morning. I'm wrapping up this walk, I should say. My goal is to eventually boost these walks up to runs, or at least jogs, you know. But I got a lot of work to do. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing amazing. We're heading at breakneck speed into the new year. Hope you got some New Year's resolutions locked and loaded. I hope you're excited about things to come. I know I am. And that's all I got this morning. Good luck out there. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.